It was after the birth of my second child, which is very typical. I was 24 at the time, and I usually bipolar or schizophrenia, which I don't know too much about, but bipolar I do. It starts, it comes between 18 and 25. It really takes hold. There's little signs of it earlier, like you're the absolute life of the party, or you're really seriously sad. And I was both those things for most of my childhood and adult life, but in balance, because my mom kept me balanced. Bedtime was bedtime was bedtime. We've discovered that sleep is the #1 thing for mental balance, for mental health, is your sleep. So I had a good childhood. It was after the birth of my second child. I was living a fairy tale. I was married to the Prime Minister. I had the most beautiful little baby, Justin, who was 2, and he was perfect, of course. And then I had my second baby, and it was like a switch had been turned off in my mind. I had no joy in me, no excitement, no passion. I had no interest in my life, and we had no idea what it was. We went to a psychiatrist, had no idea. He just told me I'd had baby blues, not realizing that it was the beginning of the roller coaster of bipolar, which is you fall to the deepest depths of depression, not sadness and sorrow, because those are natural. Depression, which is an illness, or you climb up into this mania, which makes you do really what other people would think are really bad acts and reprehensible things, but it's because your blood, it's a chemical thing where you've got so much of this hormone dopamine in your brain that you can't access logic or reason. So you're just, and you're so high and sparkling above, but you don't sleep and you don't eat and you don't get better. And you just don't. So you can't live that way. You have to face it. I didn't get fixed until I got broken, and that was when I was 50. And I lost my son. I went through many years of not having any signs of mental illness to having my 5th child, my little girl. Again, it appeared, and we didn't even recognize it. I just thought I had a bad marriage. I just thought everything was wrong. Nothing was wrong. It was my brain that was, as we like to say, playing tricks on me, but it wasn't. It was just dysfunctioning with the chemical imbalance. With the grief and with the loss of my husband Pierre, I was so broken, and I couldn't live anymore. I was on my path to death because I stopped eating and drinking. I couldn't face life, and so I got forced into hospital by intervention, by the police taking me in, as too many do. But it is the best way to get into a psych ward, maybe the only way. And I got better because I took it on. I wanted to get better. And I didn't want to let down anybody anymore. I didn't want to fall into that depression that steals all my interest, takes away all my life. And I found out, I did a lot of study and research and worked with my doctor for 3 years. I had to take cognitive behavioral therapy and emotional behavioral therapy in order to change my mind, to get rid of all the shame, the self-loathing, the fear, the not feeling part of being so isolated and alone. Those aren't healthy emotions, none of them. And so with cognitive behavioral therapy, you can change the dark to the light. You can change the sad ruminations in a second to beautiful thoughts, because you have a choice. You can think the way you want. You can let your brain fill up with whatever you want. Unfortunately, with mental illness, you don't have the choice. The brain takes over. So your actions are not your fault, but they are your responsibility. So you have to get better.